Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Cozy Bread. Um, so we are back in Melino. We just created our character Davy. He is a boy, and he's going to go around town, and he's going to be a little bit of a menace. He is upper middle class. He's single. He has no family. He's bi. He has this like alt style to him. And now what we're doing is we are going to pick a place for him to live. He's starting with 50,000 paradigms. And I think what I want to do... I still haven't decided. Let's scroll through the town so I can show you guys a little bit more. You saw this area before around the train station. This is pretty much the center of town. Um, but if you go in this direction, you get to this cool plaza with these like really neat stores. There's a couple more residences. My first playthrough, I started on this lot and I built a little like shack for my girl. I chose this lot because it is the cheapest lot in the game. It's $644. But it is also kind of a nightmare to build on. Like, you'll go into build mode, there's a grid, you have to turn the grid off for this build because if you look at it, look at the dimensions. Like, not only is it a tight squeeze with the property line on each side with these buildings, but each building is at a different angle. So your home is not going to have like a straight like 90-degree angles at all. Like it's going to be a very quirky home. I'm still kind of deciding it because I know the lot at this point and I feel like I can make it work and build like a cute little starter home for him, but I'm not quite sold. So to check out more Melino, here is this really cool area. Um, you have the community center that I'm assuming you can upgrade because you have all of these little like booklets where you can turn in collectibles. Uh, you have the museum, the community center, the library, and I believe the university. There's this lot over here, which is 10,000, and that's kind of like more rural. There's this like small little suburban area where you have these two homes, which are quite expensive. This one's 71,000. This one's 43,000. If you go over here, you have another free lot that's 5,000. That's not bad. And then you have these two farm lots. One's 8,000. This one is 5,000. This lot is really cool. I've seen some really cool builds off of this lot. It's very tiny. I think it's might be the second smallest lot in the game. After that one we just saw next to the two buildings, but it's only 1,000, which is also another good like beginner lot to start off of. This lot is huge and it's 11,000. If you go down here towards this little suburban area, you have a couple homes. One's for sale, 20,000. Then you have two lots. One is 3,000. One is 1,000. Here is the lighthouse. Here's the beach. Here's another lot for sale that is next to this like sort of like tower and like really cool elevated street here. This looks like an apartment block, so I have not checked these out. I'm kind of curious about it. I do think it being close to this like warehouse company kind of fits the vibe of Davey a little bit more. He feels very kind of like, he would like more of like an industrial um renovated warehouse vibe. So this could work for us. It's 26,000. Now if we go back to the elevated street here, this is 46,000. I have my eye on this one because I just love the look of it. I think it's so cute. It's like really compact, like townhome in between these two other homes. Here's the elementary school. It has this cool tower that's like right at the end of the street. You're above the road and the train tracks, which is like so ridiculous. So yeah, am intrigued by that. Now here's this other one that I'm kind of looking at as well. It's another apartment block looking thing, and it's 24,000. So I I really need to make a decision. So here's a hospital that you can visit. There's more like office spaces here. Some of these like portraits here, I just don't think make a lot of sense. Like this baby was here in my last game, and there was never a baby there. Like there's not a baby just randomly walking the streets of Melino without an adult. Like that's not happening. So I do think the mod is a little bugged, or it's just not working fully with uh, the para pathfinding or whatever. So just to be aware if you download this mod. All right, that is pretty much the whole town. Um, so I think some of our options here. This to me, I do think it's a cute lot, but I think it's too far out of town for Davy. I don't think he would like it here. You are between, you have like right at this four-way intersection, you have the train going underneath. It's right next to farmland. I just think it's a little too pastoral for a boy. So I think what I am going to do is I don't think we'll live here above the train station. I don't think we'll live here on the other side of the train station. I am kind of interested in this, but it's 28,000, so it's a little bit more on the expensive side. I'm not really interested in building off of this cheap lot right now. I think we'll do that for another Let's Play. So I think I am down between either this apartment block, or this apartment. This one's cool. It's close to the beach. There's this actual like park that you can go to behind the beach, which I think is really cute. And you can get to there from the back of the apartment building. Um, I do kind of also like this very cool like end of train tracks plaza park. I think that's so neat. Like they really did a great job building this world. Like this to me is a real highlight of the game. I think Melino is such a cool town, has such a cool vibe. The fact that it's all open world and not gated behind lots like The Sims 4. I have really fond memories of playing The Sims 3 despite all of its performance issues. So this like really brings like to me it's kind of like nostalgia bait. So I think this tall office tower next to it is really cool. So I'm kind of I don't know like I'm kind of interested in this. It's 24,000 compared to this one that is 26,000, almost 27,000. So it's 334 square feet, one bedroom, one bath. Let's check out the details for this one. This is 469 square feet, three bedroom, one bath. I think that's a little too much for us to start out in. You know, he's moving into town. He is starting over, wherever he was from, San Mishuno. um, from This Is 4, he destroyed that city. Like, he tore it up. So, he's starting over. He's leaving his past behind him. But he's not quite sure on Melino. He's not settled yet. Um, he has not found his forever home. So I think I'm leaning towards this. It looks like it's a good starter spot. There's just one bedroom, one bathroom. He'll have plenty of money to decorate, plenty of money left over. One thing I've realized, and I don't know if this is a bug, but you do get bills, I think, like every 7 days. And the water bill that I've seen, like I've seen some posts on Reddit, the water bill is insane. Like it is absolutely insane. When I had this small little one-story like shack, like it wasn't even a bedroom, like it was a full-blown studio. My water bill alone was over 1K. Like it was insane. So I think there needs some patching around that. What I've also noticed is that like sometimes when you take a shower, that shower stays on, and that contributes to the water bill. So just be aware of like fixing things before bed, because if you don't fix a toilet or if you don't fix a shower, like it's going to run and that's going to raise your water bill. Turn off stereos, turn off TVs, because electricity is also part of your bill. So just be aware, like real life, like there are consequences. Okay, so I think we're gonna do this. I think we're gonna pick this home for 24,000. You will have 25,152 left over. Yes. Okay, guys, here we are. We are in our new home, and you can tell the lag is already crazy. This is something that you just kind of have to get used to. I've literally have gotten like, I don't know, it was probably like 45 to 60 frames per second all the way down to 5. Like it is all over the place. The performance here is not great at all, even for an early access game. It's just not great. So just be aware that sometimes my gameplay will be laggy, will be choppy, and we're just gonna have to work with it. All right, let's get into it. So, let's check the newspaper real quick. There's a newspaper that comes out every morning, I think around 6 a.m. So, it will tell you like events that are going around town, and then also like give you a couple things occasionally. So, we have Mayor Bloomberg welcomes the Collins household and shares a list of activities to do around town. Accept list. The Astronomy Club is meeting. We'll observe a rare space phenomenon. See, I don't think Davy's not into science. Like, he's not going to do that. Please stop with the graffiti, says Mayor Bloomberg. It's not very nice. Wasn't me. Okay, so here is our apartment building. We are just south of the community center. You have the museum over here, like I said, the town hall and library, and the high school. I kept thinking it was a university, but it's a high school. Okay, and then we're close to the hospital. We're close to a couple office buildings. Let's just get into it. So, this is an apartment building. It looks like this would be like the ground floor apartment, but this isn't really like The Sims where like you have several households on the same lot. It looks like it's just me in this apartment building, which is fine. Like I understand. Maybe in the future update we will get something a little bit more interesting where I can like go and visit a new household, change into that household, and live in the same lot as my previous one. So if we go upstairs, this looks like our apartment. So it's one bedroom, one bath. Let's just check to see what's up here. Yeah, so I guess another apartment, but there is none. And then this is the roof. Okay. So let us check out our apartment. So we got some moving boxes, got a little trash. Uh, there is some weeds in our apartment, which I don't really understand, but all right. Okay, and then let's look at our living room. Okay, so this is very, very bachelor, very cheap bachelor. Look at our coffee table; it's just some pallets of wood. Um, we got some like chairs, a old school CRTV. What I like about this game is that you can have like various radiators and AC units and stuff. So it kind of adds like this cool little like realistic vibe that you can add to your homes and apartments. Yeah, see, like here's our window AC unit. Like, oh, I love that. Okay, so here's a bookshelf. Here's our little kitchen. As you can see, it's probably all the starter appliances, um, which is fine. We got a little artwork. Oh, I really like this zebra rug. And I see that it's also in the bathroom. So I think we'll keep this. You know, Davey, he's a little alt. He's really into like weird, kind of like kooky stuff. So I really like the art in the rug. And I think we'll keep that. Um, looks like it's a pretty basic bathroom. Just sink, toilet, shower. We had this little hallway. We got a nice little window here to give us a little light. And then here is our bedroom. So it looks like it's pretty basic. Got actually two radiators in an AC unit. We got a dresser and we got a bed nightstand. And some city artwork, which I think we'll keep as well. Okay, so before we get into build mode, I just want to go over a little bit of the UI again. So you have your hunger, you have your sleep, you have your bathroom, and you have your hygiene. Now, this isn't all the needs that you have for your para. There are other needs that come up and come in and out given the situation. So, like, you will have a fun meter that shows up occasionally. You also have your me time if you are more of like a lonely personality. Um, and it kind of just really depends on how you build your para, like what vibe you gave them, what social perk, and I think maybe even what talent. Um, so it really just depends. I really like how it's a little bit more dynamic and it's built around your para and not just like everyone gets the same six needs. Um, so if you look over here, you have your profile, which I just showed you, which is what we built in that personality section of the para creator. And then if you go here, you have your goals. So you have the set a home. This is what we got when we first loaded into Melino. Find a job, place a decorative item in your home, cook a meal. If you look on the right, it'll show you the rewards that you can get. So we'll get 10 XP. That XP is going to level up our personality. And when you level up your personality, you'll be able to unlock more vibes, social perks, talents, etc. So this is from the newspaper. Discover the town, collect 5 gems, mushrooms, or artifacts, make a donation to the museum, make a donation to the community center, buy something at a shop, and become acquaintances with 3 paras. So that will also give you 10 XP, which I feel like should be giving us more. And there's more to do here, so I feel like it should at least be like 30 or 50 XP. And then you have a toggle here where you can show completed life goals. So this is your inventory. You can like pretty much click any item and you'll be given the options to interact with it, but you'll also be given the option to move it, to change the item color, to sell it, or to add it to the inventory, which I think is like a really cool, handy vibe. You can also search for it. So, okay, so I think that's probably more for in the future when you have maybe like tons of interactions that you can do with one specific item. What's cool about the inventory is that like when you make something, especially if it's like a group food item like a pizza, you can't right now stick that pizza in the fridge to save it for later. What you can do though is you can stick that pizza in your inventory and it won't spoil. If you leave it out, it will spoil, obviously. But if you stick it in your inventory and then bring it back out later, you can keep eating it. So here's our little social panel on our relationships. If you click it, you obviously get like an early access note. And what I kind of like is that it'll give you the option to just go straight ahead and find that person. So it looks like Roberto is here. It does take a second to load up. And then underneath it, you'll be given labels. So right now he's acquaintance 1. You'll also have like secret crush, lover, friend, spouse, and it will all add up and it will all be separate levels. So here it's like you don't have an occupation right now, find a job on the computer, on the phone, or on job posters around town. So this is where your employment will show up and it'll give you like all these little details. We'll go into it in a second. So next is skills. Again, you get an early access notification here. But you have music, food, fitness, technology, art, repair, and science. What's kind of cool about this is that there's sub skills. So you have exercise and dance. You will level up these skills quicker than you level up the total skill. So like exercise can be like level 5 and fitness can still be say level 3 or something. So it kind of makes more sense to level up multiple sub skills so that you can get a higher overall skill. And then thoughts is just your para needs, emotions, and wants. So this is basically just like the default UI. And if you go down here to the face card, I love that. You can go home or you can center the camera on the para, which doesn't always necessarily center it. And then go home will just be in action. Okay, I think the first thing that we want to do before we get into everything is that if you click on the para, you can change outfit, which is kind of cool. And you can use our phone. So we can do find a job, we can order we can order a diamond ring or flowers. We can call another parafolk. You can play video games, check social media, call firefighters in case there's a fire, or we can hire service like cleaning or repair. So let us find a job. It's 7:49 a.m. on Monday. Let's go to the 1 speed. Okay, so here are our job postings. So there's actually a kind of a lot for being early access. So you have software development, art, service, music, education, management, maintenance, healthcare, science, fitness, and food. And then if you go here, you have like several different jobs at several different locations. So for software development, you can start at rank 1. If you look over here on the right, it says programming 1, technology 1. Those are our skills. So you will also have a number that shows up the more you work in that specific job posting. And then you also have another stat like charisma, which shows 3. So if you go here, it says you need a total of 29. So it is only 4. And so you can see how there's a little bit of a difference here. For systems engineer, you need a programming of one, but you don't need, there's no technology requirement. There is a technology, I don't know if it's necessarily a requirement, but I think it's just like it's adding to the point system. So I do find that a little interesting, because to me, when it comes to being a systems engineer, it makes sense to have that technology point added to it. Okay, so I think for Davy, if we look back at his profile, he has a physique of 3 and a charisma of 3 and a mind of 1. And baby, he is not creative at all. So I think if we look here, like, he can't do anything art. He's not that smart, so I don't think he'd be good at software development. Service jobs, there are a lot. You could be a store clerk, a receptionist, hairdresser, waiter, and manager at a higher rank. So I personally think Davy is a little too advanced. Like he's not gonna move to a town and just be a store clerk. Like he's not about that life. It's beneath him. He has a superiority complex. He thinks he's hot. So he could be a hairdresser. He does fit that vibe just looking at him. And if you click the actual job posting, what I really like is that you can specifically pick what schedules you want. So what works best for Davy? You know, Davy, he is a night owl, I believe. Yes. So he's probably not going to want to take a shift that's in the morning. He's going to want to take something later that, you know, ends in the late afternoon or early evening. So he's not creative, so I don't think he would pick anything music related. Education, I don't think so. He could be a physical ed teacher. I mean, he does have the fitness. Interesting that you need a rank of 10 to be the high school teacher. Okay. Management. Literally none of this. Not going to be a manager anytime soon. He could be a janitor, but I think being a janitor is a little beneath him. I don't think he's gonna want to do that job. He doesn't really strike me as the type of person that enjoys getting dirty, outside of like getting sweaty from his workouts. So he could work as a nurse, but I think again he sees that as a little beneath him. He is not smart at all, so he's not going to be able to do any of these science postings. You can see that obviously these ones pay a little more. 870. If you look at some of these management ones, you also have like 1350. But if you look at like a basic starting one, it's like 250. If I go to janitor, it's also 250. So if we go to fitness, it does look like it's just a physical education teacher, so that might be where we want to start. I still think that is below him, but we're not really going to get the option to pick a higher job posting just yet. So if you look at food, there's just cook, and I don't really think he wants to be a cook. What I do wish there was a thing here to show you like it obviously shows you your current level. So like currently our cooking is level 1 and our charisma is 3. But I wish it would show you the requirements for some of these. Like it just kind of says the exact same thing over and over again. Okay, so I think, he's just gonna do it. It's fine. Okay, so For this one, it is you cannot choose your own schedule. Like school is only in session during a specific time, so you can only work during that time. That makes sense. So 8:30 a.m. to 3:30, he's not gonna like this job at all. Um, but he does get weekends off, so I think he might survive. But yeah, he's not too great, not too really happy. Um, I think what he really wants to do is he wants to work his way up to manager. And if we look at our personality again, he might want to be eventually, like, if we look at management, um, like, chief happiness officer sounds kind of hilarious for Davey. Like, it just sounds exactly like something that he would put himself in, kind of hate it, but turn around, smile, and be the best sort of like essentially like HR person out there. So I think we kind of want to work ourselves up to chief happiness officer. So let's just go to fitness, physical education teacher, can't change anything. Let's just do this. Davis got the job. Congratulations. Work starts next Tuesday. So let's pause and then let's look at the employment tab. So starts in one day. I do like that information that they give you. You can see where it says show on maps. You can go and see where he works at. Rank 1 per day, 250. So if you look at here, it says your new job doesn't start today. It starts Tuesday. So it gives you the schedule. On the right, it gives you vacation days, which you can get. So sometimes at the end of your workday, it will give you like upgrade points. And those upgrade points can give you a pay raise. It could give you a vacation day, or it can give you more perks down here. Here you have strikes. Strikes you get will appear here. After 3 strikes, you'll be fired. Okay, that makes sense. And then performance. So right now we have 113%, base rate of 50, energy surplus vibe energetic 15, so that gives us a lot. High stat physique 4, high stat charisma 4, 20 relevant skill or knowledge levels, and 20 current emotions. And then over here, you'll see your mood is great, your exercise is great. It'll show you the current level and the required level. And same with fitness. Current level 3, required level 3. And then down here, it will show you your perks. You can get rid of them and change them out occasionally, but you will always only have 3. So done, done, done. Finish 1 hour early. No impact on salary. Okay, that's fine. And then you can quit your job and change your schedule. Cool. All right. So before we start living our life in Melino, let us play around with build mode. Now, I do think, honestly, this might be the next couple of episodes because I do get really, like, I go ham. Like, I do a lot. I think I'm not as crazy as some of the other stuff that I've been seeing lately. Like, people really get deep into build mode, but I do love playing around with the designs, and the build mode I think is the best part of the game so far. It's really robust. There aren't a lot of like specifically like a lot of like furniture and item options, but it seems like with each one you can pick and change the colors, the patterns. You can just do a lot with what's already there. So let us get started. So if you go down here in the bottom left, you get to go into build mode. Okay. So I love how there's a slider. I just think that's such a great little detail to the building. I do think it needs to be a little higher. Okay, let's just change it there. So yeah, what I like the most about build mode is that you can really change the width, the height, and really get it intimate into like each item. So if I go here to the window, like I can easily change the width. and then you just do undo. Okay. So let us start at the front door. I really want to get like, really, what is this? Why is this here? Let's just delete it. We got $3. All right. I think before we start, I want to cut the episode and we'll get back into it. So I know I didn't do a whole lot here, but I did want to show you a little bit of the town in this episode. We got our apartment, went over the UI a little bit, got our job, and we are now ready to furnish our apartment before we go into live mode. So I will see you guys next episode. Toodaloo!